Hello, BMTA fans. Welcome to this here in Germany for second to last international series event here on season 2. This is show 1 as we kick off show 1 here today, here this afternoon at 5 o'clock. We're going to get ready here in just a moment. But we do have show 2 later today at 8 p.m. tonight. So this will not be over because this tonight we will crown our International Series champion. Alright, BMTA fans, it's time to get into the first race, round number 1. We're gonna get our drivers here on the track here right now. Let's see. It's gonna be Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger taking on Joe Dennis and Zombie. I know this is a most big fan favorite out here for this series. As I have word that we have a new chassis here for Joe Dennis here tonight. In this here in Germany. And the body looks so much different now. We're gonna get ready with our first race here. Charlie Pocket and Gravedigger coming out first here to kick off the race competition. Now this racing is completely different, completely different here. They're gonna start on top of the pod, then on the start of those bumps. As we're gonna wait here for the officials to give the green light here for Charlie Pocket and demonstrate on a first race of round number 1. Staged and ready, waiting for the green. He's off. Taking the first turn nice and clean and tight. Final turn here. It's a 14.752 for Charlie Pocket and Gravedigger. Starting off the race competition with some great times. Getting our next driver up next. Joe Dennis and Zombie coming up. Joe Dennis is going to go to the other side of the pod here. Honestly, I really hope we can see him here in the World Finals in a week time here. Would be very cool to see Joe Dennis appear in the World Finals. He's taking these turns a little too perfect here. Final turn. The time for Joe Dennis and Zombie is a 14.326. Joe Dennis moves on to the semifinal round here in racing. Getting our next two competitors here on the track. Joe Dennis moving on to the semifinal round here of racing. There was someone else. Someone is currently rooting for him the most here. But we're going to get to the next pairing here of racing. As we're going to get our next driver here on the track. Just don't know why they haven't added a version of this truck. A little bit disappointing. Got on that. Getting our next pairing here on the track. It's going to be Mike Vaters Jr. and Megalodon taking on Brandon Arthur and Earthshaker. Now, these two drivers. Actually, we're going to bring Brandon Arthur to the other side of the track here just so we can. There we go. Alright, BMTA fans. Hello, Scooter. Welcome. Hello, Scooter. Welcome, my friend. We're going to get into the next race here. Hello, Scooter. How are you doing today? As we have our friend Scooter in the chat here, we're going to get into our next race here. Mike Vaters Jr. in Megalodon. Going to be taking on Brandon Arthur and Earthshaker. Glad to see you here, Scooter. Good to see you. Alright. Mike Vaters is staged right now. He's, wow, it's fast around these turns, really fast. Wow. Final turn. The time is a 12.075. The new fastest time here tonight on the series. Well, here in the event here tonight. Very fast here from Mike Vaters. Mike Vaters really itching for a World Finals appearance coming in the week's time. Can't wait to see what these next few drivers will be able to get into here. We still got to get into Brandon Arthur here. He's still got to run out here tonight. So we're going to get Brandon Arthur ready here as we get Mike Vaters the second in the back right now. Alright. Getting Brandon and Arthur on the track right now. As Brandon is going to line up here. He's staged, waiting for the green. That first turn was really nice. But he might be losing it here. It's a 14.715. Decent time, but it's not enough to beat Mike Vaters II. Now, we're going to move to the other side of the bracket here. We're gonna get into our next race as being Chelsea VanCleave and Sparkle Smash taking on Geneva Keller and ThunderROARus. We're gonna get those two on the track here in just a moment, as we're gonna get Brandon Arthur off the track. So, anyway, BMTA fans, who's ready for some more racing out here tonight? Getting our next competitors here on the track right now. We're gonna start off with Geneva Keller and ThunderROARus. She's gonna line up to the line here. She's staged. She's off. Wow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She rolls the truck over. That's gonna be a DNF for Geneva Keller and ThunderROARus. Really tough break here. So Chelsea VanCleave is gonna get an automatic bye into round number 2. Well, semifinal round here. But we're still gonna give Chelsea VanCleave a pass here on the track, just so she can get a decent time. As Geneva lines up. She's ready. She's off. A little wide. She crosses the line either way. It's a 16.630 for Chelsea VanCleave in Sparkle Smash. We're going to get into our next pairing here tonight. Here this afternoon, my bad, I mean. It's going to be Peter Nyman in El Toro Loco, taking on Tony Ochs in JCB Digatron. We're going to get both drivers here on the track here in just a second. And our next drivers here. So I spun the wrong JCB. There we go. Alright. Getting drivers ready. Alright. Tony Ochs coming on the track first here. This is the second time. This is the another time. It's been raining almost all these events. Tony Ochs is lined up here for racing. He's off. Coming to the first turn. Final turn here. Final stretch. A 14.365. I will say again, a 14.365. Fast time. Now you're going to see what Peter Nyman's going to get out here tonight. As we're getting Peter Nyman ready here. Here he comes on the track. Hopefully this rain will slow down here. As we wait for the green. He's off. Now remember, BMTA fans, this is for the championship. It's a 15.001. Tony Ochs will move on into the semifinal round here of JCB Racing. Alright, BMTA fans, we're gonna get into the final two here tonight. The final four, I mean, sorry about that. As we're gonna get our next drivers here. Also, got some good news. Looks like the rain is indeed slowing down. Looks like it's indeed stopping. And the sky is clearing up here. The sky cleared up a good bit, actually. Wow. Alright. Some technical difficulties here, but we're going to get that solved here. Well, our next race is going to be Joe Dennis and Zombie. And going to be taken on Mike Vaters II in Megalodon. We're going to get into the next race here in just a second. Alright, BMTA fans, we are here. We're ready. Getting ready for the semifinal round here. Mike Vaters creeping up to the line here. Waiting for the green. Oh no! Can he recover it? Yes, he can. It's a 16.530. Very, not the best time here tonight. Wow. I'll say again, it's a 16.530. Mike Vaters did not have that great lap there. We're getting into Joe Dennis's pass here right now. There's Joe creeping up to the track right now. Get the zombie arms out. This is one of the zombie trucks I personally love on this series. So get ready to go green. Oh! Clears the line, but hits the wall. Again, not a great... Gonna get the times in here for Joe Dennis. It's a 15.524. Joe Dennis will move on to the final round here of racing. Lucky win on Joe Dennis. Joe Dennis locking in. Joe Dennis be locking in here tonight. Sorry about that. Coming up next will be Chelsea VanCleave and Sparkle Smash. She's going to be taking on Tony Ochs and JCB Digatron. Getting him on, getting Tony Ochs on the track right now. Here he comes on the track. Lining up to the line. Lined up. Waiting for green. He's off. Oh no. Over under steers there. That is a 5-second penalty on Tony Ochs. So that will be a 20.429 for Tony Ochs. A 20.429 for Tony Ochs. Not having the best day out here tonight. Still, whatever happens is gonna happen. As we're gonna get the Chelsea VanCleave's pass here real quick here. Oh, whoops. Hang on, BMTA fans. All right. Getting Chelsea VanCleave here on the track. If she beats, there's a chance she could still beat Tony Ochs and JCB Digatron here. As Tony got a 5-second penalty. It's her chance to get a win here and go to the finals. We're waiting for the green. She's off. A 14.831 for Chelsea VanCleave. Chelsea VanCleave will move on to the final round here of racing. Joe Dennis, this is his chance to getting a racing win here tonight. So let's see what he can do. Alright. I'll take a little quick water break there. We're going into the final round here. Actually, no, we're not going to start off with Joe Dennis in Zombie. We're going to start off with Chelsea VanCleave. Sparkle Smash. So, BMTA fans, are you ready for the final round here racing? She's made a multitude of appearances here tonight. Chelsea VanCleave looking for a racing win. She's been mainly getting freestyles or overall at championships. I mainly see her getting overalls. Now this is the first time I see her in the final round here of racing. She understeers the truck. It's an 18.759. Joe Dennis has a chance for the final round here Jack will be happy about if he does win. So Joe has a lot on the line here. He has people rooting for him here tonight. And just maybe, if he can take a overall event championship, he can possibly go to the World Finals in Birmingham, Alabama. As he's off. First turn, very nice and clean. Forgot to say, both drivers got DNFs. So, we're either going to rerun someone's run here, or I just also realized that wasn't even, the text wasn't even off the screen. So my apologies, BMTA fans. I completely forgot about that. So we're actually going to rerun Joe Dennis's run here. I completely apologize about that. Forgot to take off the screen there. Put it on the game. Because Joe Dennis is going to re-line up. Waiting for green. Final turn. It's a 13.381. Your winner here tonight in racing is Joe Dennis in Zombie. Taking home a racing win here tonight. Very well deserved here on Joe Dennis. We'll be right back here for the Two Wheel Skills Challenge here. So we'll be back. Alright, BMTA fans, we're back. We're gonna get into the two-wheel skills challenge here tonight. Starting off with our two-wheel skills here is gonna be Geneva Keller in ThunderROARus. Let's see what she can do out here tonight. Creeping up the jump here. Looking to start off with a nose wheelie here. That is gonna do it for Geneva Keller in ThunderROARus. Really tried her best there. Scores are waiting to be locked in here. Experts gave it an 11. Other judge gave it a 12. That's a 23 if I'm correct. It's a 23 for Geneva Keller. Getting our next competitor here on the track. Alright. Guys, coming out next. Here comes Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. So Charlie Pauken can do out here tonight. Combinating it into a nose wheelie. Can he save it? Yes, he can. Amazing save there for Charlie Pauken. Looks like he might be going for or attempting a bicycle here. Failed attempt. We're going to give him another chance to redeem himself there. Hang on. I think he's found a better spot to do it. That is going to do it for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. An amazing execution, I will say. But it's not going to be enough to save the truck here and save his momentum here in the two-wheel skills challenge. Now, BMTA fans, let's get right in. Let's get the scores in for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. 13 in a 13. That's a 26 for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. Now, BMTA fans, we still got about 6 trucks left here in the freestyle skills competition here tonight. Alright, BMTA fans, coming out next, here comes Peter Nyman in the Toro Loco. Alright, fans. Excuse me. Coming on next. Here comes Peter Nyman and El Toro Loco. Oh, texture issue. Here he comes on the track. Blowing the smoke. Going for a nose wheelie. He's holding it. Combinates into a wheelie. Could not combinate it there. That's his first attempt. One more attempt remaining. Wow. Let's give it up for Peter Nyman and the El Toro Loco. Really tried his hardest here. Really tried his hardest there. Scores are going to come in here for Peter Nyman and the El Toro Loco right now. It's a 13 and a 12. That's a 25. It's not for second place here. Here on the series. Got 5 more trucks left here. And coming up next, making 4 trucks remaining after this. Here comes Brandon Arthur in Earthshaker. I really hope Brandon Arthur can make it to the World Finals. Walking it up and walking it back down. Nice save there from Brandon Arthur. Going for a bicycle. What in the name of BMTA was that? Amazing save. But what was that during the bicycle? What in the name? Holy. Wow. Alright, BMTA fans. Scores are coming in. Scores are in. Alright, scores are in for Earthshaker. It's a 12 and a 13. It's a 25. That's going to tie up with Peter Nyman to put him in third place here. We're going to get our next driver here on the track. Give us a quick second here, BMTA fans. We'll get our next driver here in a second. Alright, BMTA fans. Got the scores in. We're going to get to our next driver here right now. Sorry about that, BMTA fans. Caught up in a little something here. But we're back, so here come. We're back to a skills challenge. Here comes Mike Flores second in Megalodon. Going for a nose wheelie. Truck shuts off. Truck shuts off. Can he refire? Will the officials let him refire? They let him refire the truck. Mike Vaters has got one last hit. He's going to try to make it count here tonight. Saves the truck with that momentum. Gotta love a truck getting momentum and it just saves it when it's not supposed to. Scores are coming in here. Scores are coming in here for Mike Vaters. It's a 12 and a 9. That's a 21. Here for Mike Vaters. That's going to be enough for that lap. Actually, no. Sorry. That judge is going to change his score to a 14. That's a 26. So Mike Vaters is not being in last place. He's going to end up in second place. Tied with Charlie Pauken. We still got 3 more trucks left here in the Two Wheels competition. Coming up next, here comes Tony Ochs and JCB Digatron. Cannot wait to see how Tony Ochs will handle this track. Alright, we got Tony Ochs ready here on the track. Here he comes on the track right now. Damn! That is going to do it for Tony Ochs in JCB Digatron. Tough break there for Tony Ochs. It's going to be a 6 and a... Nope. It's going to be a 6 and an 8. It's a 14 for Tony Ochs. Coming out next here for the two-wheel skills competition. Second to last truck here. Here comes Chelsea VanCleave and Sparkle Smash. Oh no! Can she save it? Amazing first attempt. I think she's already found her. No. That was going to be her second attempt there, but no. Would have been cool to see it, though. They're gonna let her redo that. I don't know why the truck decided it didn't want to do a wheelie. We're gonna give her one more attempt here. There she go. Now she's get it. Can she save it? Come on, come on, come on. No. Damn. Almost had it there, too. That is going to do it for Chelsea VanCleave and Sparkle Smash. Scores are coming in with 11 and a 13. That's a 24 for Chelsea VanCleave. Yeah, one more truck left here in the two-wheel skills competition. And hopefully, this next driver can take home a scales win here tonight. Coming up next, here comes Joe Dennis in Zombie. Get those zombie arms out as he creeps up onto the track here. I really love the addition of Joe Dennis in a zombie. He's gonna go for a tombstone here. The first tombstone of the night. And it's by Joe Dennis. Come on, Joe Dennis, the man of the hour, showing why this is how things are gonna go. Slaps it back up on the rear tire. That is going to do it for Joe Dennis's first hit. Yes, that was all one hit there. Joe's still got one more hit left. Let's see what he's got out here tonight. Joe might be taking an approach that I never thought would be possible. Oh no! Busts off the tire. Joe Dennis and Zombie having one of the best two-wheel skills he's ever had here. Scores are in. It's a 14 and a 17. That is a 31. Joe Dennis for the second time here this afternoon, taking home a win here tonight. Double down here tonight. Give it up for Joe Dennis in Zombie. Very well deserved. Taking home back-to-back wins here tonight into Southern Germany. Very well deserved. Wow. We're going to go into halftime here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here in a few moments. Alright, BMTA fans, we are back here for freestyle. Let's get right into the action here. Starting off with Peter Nyman and the Toro Loco. Starting off with some decent air there. Can he save it? Yes, he can. Oh no, locks of a planetary. Come on, Peter Nyman. That is going to do it here for Peter Nyman and the El Toro Loco. Tough break there. Scores are coming in for Peter Nyman and the El Toro Loco. Be a 13 and a 12. That's a 25 for Peter Nyman. Getting our next driver here on the track here. Also, hang on, BMTA fans. Have a little issue here. We're trying to fix it up real quick. Alright, BMTA fans, we are back. We're going to get into our next truck here. Here comes Geneva, Keller. And ThunderROARus coming out next here. She lost rear steer. But if it's a rear steer and the front can still drive, she's still good. Truck shuts off. That is going to do it for Geneva, Keller and ThunderROARus. Tough way to end the freestyle competition for her. Alright, BMT fans, we'll be back here in a moment. Alright, BMTA fans, I'm back here. The score for Geneva Keller is a 23. Sorry about that major delay there, fans. Again, at the 23 for Geneva Keller and the ThunderROARus. We're going to get into our next driver here. He was originally your series points leader. Now he's in 5th place. Coming out next, here comes on. Here comes Brandon Arthur in Earthshaker. Thunder with some nice air there. Having some great momentum so far. Can he save it? Momentum carry him to a save. It can. It's going to continue on the run. Lying for the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Can he save it? Let's hear it for Brandon Arthur and Earthshaker. An amazing freestyle, fills the time and has a backflip in it. Scores are coming in for Earthshaker. A 13 and a 15. That's a 28 for Brandon Arthur in Earthshaker. Coming up next is the other construction truck on this series. Coming out next, here comes Tony Ochs and JCB Digatron. Here he comes on the track right now, BMTA fans. Now remember, we still got another event here tonight at 8 o'clock. Like 3 hours here. 3.5, maybe 2.5 hours here. So right now, the drivers that have broken their trucks are in the back right now trying to fix that truck for the second event here. But Tony Ochs coming on the track. Joe Dennis's truck to be fixed is a simple one. It's just the fixing a broken tire. Tony Ochs sending JCB Digatron. Oh, man. Wild save. Barely touches the wall. Right now, Tony Ochs. Oh, no. Can he save it? Yes, he can. Only thing that might be damaged is the shocks. Those got to get realigned here for next event, hopefully. Who says you need a backfoot to win everything? As Tony Ochs rolls the truck over for the final attempt to save. Scores are coming in for Tony Ochs in the JCB Digatron. A 13 and a 12. 25 for Tony Ochs. It's going to be up for third place, tying with Peter Nyman. 4 more trucks remain here on the series, on the freestyle competition. Coming up next, here comes Chelsea VanCleave, Sparkle Smash. Oh. Chelsea has had a rough week so far. Start to her week. For Chelsea, and that is going to do it for Chelsea VanCleave and Sparkle Smash. Rolls the truck on its roof. That's going to be... Scores are coming in, though. It's a 5 and a 2. That is a 7. That is one of the lowest scores on this event. A 7. Coming up next. Coming right out next. Is your double down winner here tonight. Is Joe Dennis and Zombie. Can Joe Dennis go 3 for 3 here? Or 4 for 4 in the overall event championship? Right now, Joe Dennis looking clean for the overall event championship right now. Speaking of Joe Dennis, here he comes on the track right now. Joe better give a great impression here for these BMTA fans. And he starts off the run with some nice air. My boy over here locking the hell in. Jack and Andrew proved that fact when he said Joe Dennis needs to lock in. I went and told Joe Dennis he needs to lock the hell in, and he's locking in alright as he sends Zombie flying in the sky. Who ever seen a zombie fly like that? As he sends it again. Keep it alive, Joe. Oh no! Can he save it? Yes, he can! He will get shut off, though. But the officials, will they let him refire and continue on with the freestyle? Oh, whoops. Continues on with the freestyle right there. Now Joe needs to kick in the high gear. What is Joe Dennis doing? He's going screw for a reverse backflip. He lands it. What in the name of what was that? Wow. As Joe Dennis is just sending Zombie to the moon here. He needs points. He's gonna go for one final hit here. And it's a send to space. And it's a rollover. Joe Dennis. Zombie. Let's hear it for Joe Dennis. As scores are coming in for Joe. Wow. He really just came out here and said, you know what? If someone wants me to lock in, I'm going to lock in. So, scores are in. It's a 16 and a 14. It's a 30. Joe Dennis taking the lead here tonight in the freestyle competition. Got 2 more trucks left here in the freestyle. Coming up next, here comes Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger. Can't wait to see how Charlie Pauken handles this track. But he's got the go. He's got the green for when he can hit his first jump. Massive air there. That's 2 wall hits, but we will RII the truck. Those are 2 wall hits. The rules are if he hits the wall 1 more time, his run will be cut short and it will be done. But he will be RII'd for those both wall hits. And they're gonna let him continue going here though. A wall hit's a wall hit. If he does it 1 more time, it's over for him. So Charlie better be careful for what he hits or goes crooked on. The truck saves it! Will they let him refire here? Charlie just might go for his move a lot more earlier than expected. That's exactly what he's gonna do here. Truck's still alive. Saves it again. I'm sorry, but I still think Joe Dennis's run was a lot better than this. And that is gonna roll Charlie Pauken over on the lid. Scores are coming in for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. It's a 29, a point lower. A point behind our friend Joe Dennis and Zombie. Charlie Pauken's gonna keep his truck on the track because we have our final driver coming up next. Coming up next, here comes Mike Vaters Jr. in Megalodon. Honestly, we might see this man in the World Finals. He saves the truck on that recovery. Again. And that is going to do it for Mike Vaters. Scores are in. It's a 11 and a 8. That's a 19. That means triple downy here tonight is going to be Joe Dennis in Zombie. For the third time the third time tonight, Joe Dennis will be walking away with a perfect event here tonight. Wow. Just wow. He walks away with 24 points on just a sweep. Joe Dennis sweeps the entire event. I don't even need to say anything because what the hell? We haven't seen a clean sweep like that since Tim Hall Jr. in Tampa, Florida. What in the name? That's the second ever sweep here tonight. But BMTA fans, thank you for coming out for this first event here tonight. I really appreciate all of you coming out here and just giving your precious time to watch the series. It overall helps a lot here. So thank you all, BMTA fans. And we will see you here in a couple more hours because we're going to continue on with show number 2 here in Dresden, Germany.